Missladypetal here, and I'm really sorry I didn't get a vlog out to you last week. I had a hard week. I was in a lot of pain for a lot of the week and ended up in hospital again, and now I'm having those things investigated. But that's why I just thought, oh, you don't want to have someone doing a vlog and they're like all the time, all the way through it. Like, that would just be unpleasant and yuck, you know, like, so I just thought to myself, oh no, you know, like, I did some voiceovers, some videos though, so I still kept creating a bit, and I'm having afternoon, like, Pepsi next. So it's not afternoon tea because it's hot here. It's like autumn and it's hot. Like, what is with that? Oh, it's only in Australia, right? Over 30 degrees today. Ugh. If you heard that, that's my son standing outside my studio window scaring the bejeebies out of me. But I'm so used to it now, I'm like, yeah, whatever. The thing about that is, just quietly, he does scare the bejeebies out of me when he does it at night and it's dark outside and I can't see or hear him or whatever, and I might be Skyping with my friend Vicky or doing something, even filming. He's even done it when I'm filming, right? And I'll just like go ah! Out of the chair. I'm doing a vlog, Dominic, come here, come on. Come on, I'm on the vlog. Come on, I'm taping it at the moment. Come and say hello to everybody.
No.
He's standing at the edge of my room and it has a do not enter, I'm filming sign on the door, and now he won't even come and get into the shop. Come on. That's Dominic's hand. No, don't do it. Come on. Come on. This is my gorgeous boy, Dominic. And he is one of the big loves of my life. And
leave me alone.
No! We love him. We love him.
Leave my hair alone.
So Dominic, come back.
No, this isn't
I'm gonna ask you some questions. Yeah, it is.
This isn't Q&A.
It is Q&A.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
So, Dominic.
What? You know me. Stop saying my name. You're gonna say son.
Okay, we'll get out of the room then.
You can say son. You don't have to say my name.
Son, get out of my room.
Why?
Because I'm filming.
Why are you filming?
Oh gosh.
Son,
anyway.
Get out of my room.
Oh, and here's my older son. Okay, let's just have, get in, come on. Everybody's in. You have to come in. I'm filming a vlog.
No.
Come in.
No.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, I think he's going to completely upstage me now. So after this week, oh, I need all the laughs I can get, right? So after last week, I got some nice happy mail. So I got some gorgeous happy mail from Gina Aarons, and she sent me a bunch of the magazine clips that she's been doing. You know how she's been going through all of those of you that follow Gina's channel. And I just flippantly said to her, oh, you can send me some of those. And she did. Love you, Gina. They're gorgeous. Confessions of an Art Journal Junkie, just quickly. So I told you I ordered these two sets, so the tall letters and the worn letters. Oh, now we're going to bring the cat in. This is like, I don't know, this is ridiculous. I'm being sabotaged. Anyway,
I love it.
I do. I have to say, these ended up costing me less to order from Amazon than they were even if I could get them in Australia. And of course in Australia nobody has them. And they're now discontinued. Go figure, right? So I got them from the States, combined the shipping, and they got here in 5 days. 5 days, like that's pretty darn good. Put the cat away.
Just storage.
Yeah. So that's all my confessions, but I have ordered something else, but that can be for next week. But I got some happy mail today, and I got this great big envelope, like it's so big it's taking up the whole screen, from my gorgeous friend Heidi Richards. And I'm like really excited to see what's in this. So she sent me a calendar Oh. And she loves flowers, right? How gorgeous is this? Look at all the pages. And she knows that I'll use these in my art journaling after the calendar is finished. Or maybe I just will, you know, because scan them. Who knows? Love you, Heidi. You didn't have to do this. Oh, here's another one she got. And it's like an ephemera one. Can you see that? Gorgeous. I reckon she sent them to me just to use because they're just beautiful, beautiful. There's peacocks, and all of you know I love peacocks and birds and you name it, it's in there. So I have a whole heap of other stuff as well. Let me just pull a little bit out. Oh, fibres. Oh, I'm loving those. Can you see them? Gorgeous fibres. And then I've got like, it's like lace, and it is lace, but it almost looks like it's being cut off like that. That's actually a piece of like I don't know, rubber netting. And she sent me this gorgeous little envelope, and I'm not sure what's in that, so I'll open that last. OMG, a piece of leather. Oh, that's gorgeous, Heidi. That's like, and you've got all marks in it, suede. So that's going to have a tiny little journal. I'm going to do a tiny little journal in that. Cover a tiny little journal. Here's some more of this like synthetic rubber matting, but it almost looks like pineapples. There you go. Teardrops. Awesome for jelly printing, right? A couple of like polymer clay buttons and some cutouts, some die cuts. She sent me an absolutely gorgeous tag, and it's like, you can't tell, but she's got some metallic paint on it and some paper labels, packet of paper labels. My goodness, Heidi, you went completely nutso, didn't you, darling? Oh yeah, you can see some more stamps coming up, lace stickers. So when I buy this, I don't actually use them. I actually make stamps out of them, and she knows that, and then they last longer. Oh, OMG, Heidi, you know how much I love these leaves on these in these botanical books. She sends me the most beautiful botanical stuff. Look, here we go, another one. And I hoard them and hoard them and hoard them until I finally have to use them. Okay, so that's empty. Oh, this is a page from one of her from a calendar of hers. How gorgeous is that? I think that would make a beautiful background for a journal page, a vintage journal page. And I can see that that's like a stencil. And there's like, oh, these are paper bags. How awesome is that? That is a big paper bag. And I've got 2 of them with like newsprint on them. Oh, you know I'm going to use that. And she knows I'm on the lookout for map pages. So she sent me an atlas page. She knows how much I love this ephemera. And this is a piece, and it looks like scrapbooking paper, but it's very fibrous. Can you see? My goodness. It looks like it's like a natural fibre paper with a mesh inlaid over the top, so it kind of looks woven. Now that would be awesome to cover a journal in, don't you think? I do. It'd have to be a small journal though, or maybe just the front part of the journal. So I'll have a look and see what's in this envelope, and I need to open it carefully she knows I love my kitty cat, so she sent me a pussycat envelope. Oh my goodness, old vintage postcards. Look at that. These are like old, actual, real vintage postcards. And an actual card, and my goodness, look at the envelope, and on the inside, why would you ever use that? And the actual card itself, peacocks, right? How gorgeous. And some die cuts, and she's got all pussycats and cows and sheep and dogs and dragonflies, and you can see all little bits there. Really cute. Really, really cute. And something that she's done with one of her jelly prints. You know I'm going to use that, all of it. Oh, and there's the other side, and there's her lovely note. And lady, a few words, Miss Heidi. I know you love me, but she's just saying thank you. How awesome is she? Love you, Miss Heidi. I have to send you something. I'll have to think about it. You go to the best yard sales over there, much better than mine. I really believe that. Okay, so just other things that have been going on for me. So I'm now going through a round of tests for the pain that I was in last week, and I also too have almost hit 2,000 subscribers on this channel. I'm like, wow, I'm at like 1935, I think. 1935, and that's really fast. I'm hoping to get there to 2,000 before April, which will mean that I have grown 1,000 since between the 3rd of January and the 30th of March, or the 31st of March, and that is like 4 times faster than what I was growing last year. So oh well, no, not really. I started in April last year. So in 12 months, I will have, in 1 year, I will have gone from no subscribers to 2,000 if I hit my goal. So for me as a new channel starting out, I'm really happy with those growth figures. And so are my multi-channel network partners too. So, and the other thing is I have bought a set of Miss Gina's stamps, and I think it's the set that has the feather on it. It is the set that has the feather on it, but I can't remember whether that's set A or set B. We've been studiously plotting to bring you some exciting little things using those stamps, which you will see over the next weeks and months, because we're all incredibly excited and proud of Miss Gina for one, having the chutzpah to have the faith in her own work. I mean, Claudia and I really encouraged her to go down that path, which is awesome. But also too, she then did some amazingly original work to release that set of stamps, and they are completely unique. And just think about it, like, they are not like Tim Holtz stamps or Dina Waitley stamps where you will see artwork done by everyone in Lifebook and Documented Life, and you know, Diane Reevely's site and all those other sites where they're using the product, and you know, Dina Waitley's page. Dominic, talk about being video bombed. You will have something that's really unique, and if you've got those stamps, start using them and posting them on other pages like I'm going to, because the stamps are amazing, and I would just like to see Miss Gina's designs go completely nutso and really make a big difference about how awesome they are. So that's enough on Miss Gina's stamps, but I haven't gotten mine yet, so I'm still waiting for them. Just some things, I've sold a few, but I've only got 2 left. So I've got 2 of these lampshades left in my Etsy store. They are hand painted, hand covered, hand painted, hand trimmed. You can see inside. They have normal fittings, and they're signed by me on the inside. And I have 2 of them, one with pom-poms at the bottom, which I personally love, and one with rainbow braid at the bottom, at the top. They're all different designs, very similar in the nature, but different designs. And I designed and created them for a big conference that I did last year, and at the end of that conference I took them away and I've been selling them, and they ringed the whole conference venue. So I only now have 2 left. Now they are $69 US, so at the moment it's $69 AU Australian. So if you're in the States, you're going to, the way the exchange rate's working right now, these are a good buy, and you will essentially, with the exchange rate, get them for with free postage. I mean, essentially your postage, you won't essentially pay for it. Back when I first started selling these, the exchange rate was almost dollar for dollar, and so, but they still went. But now I've only got the 2 left, and I am wanting to try and move them along now. So go to my Etsy store. I've got the links to my Etsy store on the description under every video that I do, but I will put a link to those particular items. So if you're really interested in maybe getting one, they are unique, they are one of a kind. I don't mass produce them, and they are not something that I do normally. So once they're gone, they're gone. And I do have a really big drum one as well, that someone's interested in at the moment, but that is still available as well, and that's a nice big drum lamp. You can hear my phone's going ding, 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 bring, bring, bring. So busy, so busy, so busy. So this week, tomorrow evening, tonight I've got singing practice, which is, I live for singing practice every week. So I love it. This week I've been studying psychometric testing. So if you're interested, it's intriguing. I'm looking at doing something where I'm being tested psychometrically. Yes, if you can say that. If that is even like the word psychometrically. Psychometric testing. And I tell you what, I've been brushing up on my psychometric test skills, which are hard, I must say. But I can tell you that if you ever have to do psychometric testing, that it is worth going and getting some coaching and doing lots of practice tests, because you do get better and better the more you do them. You get more and more familiar with the type of tests and questions that are asked, and each time you know, I've got a site where I paid for a course, and I've just been going and going and going, and it's been really good. My numbers have gone up from, in some areas, abysmally failing to now being extremely high. And think if I hadn't have put the preparation in and I go in to do the testing and I'm assessed, and it wouldn't be an accurate indication of my skills or where I'm at. And that was really interesting, and I think going through that exercise has taught me that if you want something, then you've got to be prepared to work for it. And I think when we translate that into our art, it's all part of the very nature of art. Like, there are some naturally talented artists in the world, but they're like few. Every other single artist in the world got there through blood, sweat and tears, and often a lot of blood and sweat and tears. And they practiced and practiced, and they didn't give up, and they failed and they failed and they failed and they failed, and they didn't get what they wanted, and they just didn't give up. If you think about that in terms of anything, like whether it's sport or writing books or going for that job that you want, or being a great mum, or like being a caring person. So if you then translate that into just normal personality traits, imagine what you can do if you practice. So one thing, just on that one thing, oh, I wash my hair, can you tell it's lying a little, it's very, very curly, but it's lying a bit flat. With my hair, I have to sleep on it overnight, fluff it up, and then tomorrow it's got that big, looks like I've got twice as much hair, but today you understand I don't have that much hair, but it's very, very curly, right? Heavy ringlets. So what you do, I'll tell you a bit of a story about me. So when I was younger, I wasn't what you would call a person with great empathy, and I couldn't put myself into other people's shoes, and I didn't have empathy for where people were at. I just either thought they were people that I liked or people that I didn't like, and I was young and juvenile in that thought process, like a lot of young people are. And when I hit my late 20s, after I had children, I understood that encouragement, being an encourager, did not come naturally to me. I craved it myself, but that didn't mean just because I craved it that I was good at it, and I wasn't. And I wasn't the sort of person that gave people compliments, and I didn't encourage people when they did great stuff or when their work was awesome. And that impacted my life in a number of ways. I then embarked on, I then grew my desire, or worked on my desire to have that as a skill. Now, some people are just naturally talented at being great encouragers, and they do it, and it's so valuable and it's awesome. But it's part of that whole understanding people and learning to speak to people on their level. Being a good encourager is something that not everybody knows, but you can learn. And I've practiced it, and having two boys made it easier to practice. But I also practice it now within the art world. And I mean, when people ask for criticism on their work, think about the way that you want to frame that. So I always frame it in, I love things about the work, and I always do love something about whatever work that they're asking for criticism on. But then I'll say it as a teacher. I'll say, well, maybe you should look at where you've placed the eyes, or where you've placed the irises in the eyes, or the shape of the nose, or maybe you should have a look at your composition of your page and think about, you know, that there are certain elements that make composition look great, you know, and you frame it in an encouraging way. So you frame it in a way that you give advice, not what's missing in the piece or not working the piece, but a way to fix or enhance or make better the piece. And that's the way that I like to frame. So it's an encouraging feedback, you know, like constructive criticism, I think they say, but I don't think that's even a good word. I think it's gentle. I think it's encouragement. For me, it's encouragement. And as people, I think we focus on the negative too much. We remember the negative. We have high emotional charges that our brains work like this filing system. And in neuroscience, they've proven this, that your brain works like a filing system, and it goes to the files that it pulls out most often, and those files have the highest emotional charge. And if you think back on the most clearest memories that you have in your life, the most of them are negative, and that those things engender in us very negative emotions, and therefore that is what we focus on. And if you think about the news and how we're very voyeuristic about, you know, as the human race in general are very voyeuristic about following what awful things are going on in the world, and it's like our action movies have to be more violent and more graphic and things have to be more violent and more out there and shock you, and because we get so desensitized to it. And I think all of those things work together to reinforce those negative things in our lives, and the internet does not help with that. And so I like to think to myself, well, I can use the internet to be more of an encourager and a positive influence, and to put things up there that really speak to people, and to do work that inspires people to create something beautiful and have that as a positive thing in their life, and to create projects that people connect with other people, and or raises money so that people can eat. All of those things are all positive things to do, and you can use the thing that you love to just create something gorgeous. And so I just want to leave you with that thought this week, that if you've got something that you wish you were like, then work on it, whether it's a skill in art, or whether it's I want to play the guitar, or whether it's I want to have the confidence to be a public speaker, or whether it's just I want to have more compassion for people. Those are things that you can learn, and you can really work on yourself and achieve those things, and let 2015 be the year that you choose to increase just one thing in your life. Just increase one thing in your life, and you'll be surprised how many things carry along. So that's it for this week. I hope I've encouraged you and just made you think about things that you can do, or things that you're already doing that you don't even give yourself credit for, right? Don't even give yourself credit for. I'm absolutely convinced that all of you are amazing people in your own way, and we each have different skills and gifts and amazing talents, and not all of them are in art. I have other talents apart from art, but I just like my art. So go learn something new. It keeps you young, and I truly believe it does keep you young. Whilst ever you are learning, you are active, and you're mentally active, and you will stay young in yourself. Ciao for now, and see you next week. Missladypetal.